Hello, and welcome to class today. My name is Jennifer Farber, and I'm going to be teaching you about Punnett squares. So we have three objectives as we go through this lesson. So one, we're going to analyze the components of genetic variability and how scientists predict offspring characteristics. Two, students identify key genetic terms. Three, students will accurately complete Punnett squares and will be able to predict potential outcomes. The point of this lesson is to be a quick review over something that you should have already learned in 7th grade. So follow along, make sure you're taking notes, pause the video, and rewind the video as you need to. Okay? So a little bit about myself. Like I said already, before we get started, my name is Jennifer Farber. I have the privilege of teaching at Monterey High School. I've been teaching for 4 years, and I teach biology in the AVID elective class. Okay, enough about me. Let's get started. So, before we move on to Punnett squares, you have to know some key vocabulary. The first set is pretty simple. Parents, they're what give the traits, okay? Offspring, fancy word for the baby, okay? What the parents make, and traits are the characteristics passed down. Okay? Eye color, earlobes, hitchhiker's thumb, your hair color. Now, today we're going to be talking this as it relates to humans, but you need to know that Punnett squares and genetics is not just humans. We can do plants, we can do animals, we can do all sorts of different things and see genetically and using a Punnett square what that offspring is going to be. But for today, we're focusing on humans. Okay? Moving on, of course, a Punnett square. What is a Punnett square? Punnett square is a chart used to predict the outcome of two parents reproducing. There are different sizes of Punnett square. We're going to focus on the Punnett square that has 4 boxes. And I'll show you a picture of that in just a second. Okay, the next word is a funny word. It's mispronounced all the time, so say it with me. It's allele. One more time, it's allele. Allele is the letter used to describe genetic information for a trait. Okay? When you are doing your Punnett squares, you can pick whatever allele, whatever letter you want to use. Okay? But make sure that you pick one that is easily distinguishable between a capital and a lowercase. Okay? Because these alleles are going to be together in the boxes. And for example, if we've got a capital X and a lowercase x, and you're writing them real quick, it's going to be really hard to tell those apart. So always pick letters that are different capital than they are lowercase. It makes life much easier, especially when you're doing these very, very fast, okay, and furious, which you will be. You're going to get great at Punnett squares. You're going to be very proficient in them. So pick different letters. Or let me rephrase that. Pick letters that look different, capital and lowercase. It'll make your life easier. Today we're going to be using the letter A for everything. Okay? Homozygous. Homozygous is a term used to describe 2 of the same alleles. So if we remember, if you've heard the word homeostasis, okay, or homogeneous, homo means same. So the letters are the same. Okay? Hetero is the opposite of that. It means the letters are different. Now notice, we're not talking about different letters like A versus B or B versus C. We're talking about capital versus lowercase. And this is very important. Okay? Same allele, different letter size. Okay? Dominant is an allele that masks or hides the recessive allele when the combination is heterozygous. So dominant means the big letter. The big letter is the dominant one. The lower letter is the recessive one. Dominant always shows. The only way the recessive trait will show if there are 2 small letters. So you're going to hear the words homozygous dominant, which means 2 big letters. Or you're going to hear the word homozygous recessive, which means 2 small letters. Or you'll hear just heterozygous. Okay, we do not say heterozygous dominant. Okay, that's redundant. If it is heterozygous, like the one I'm underlining now, the dominant trait's going to show. So we do not say heterozygous dominant. It is just heterozygous. Okay, I know that was a lot. Feel free to pause and stop the video and take notes and go back whenever you need to. Okay. We've got all the vocab down. We're going to go to do the work. So here's what the Punnett square looks like. Notice I said we were doing the 4 boxes. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 box Punnett square. Okay. The parent alleles, one goes on top, okay, and then the other one goes on the side. So this is how you're going to set up your Punnett square. Okay, so now once you've set your Punnett square up, how do you complete it? Okay, so you bring down each allele from the top. So bring each allele down. Remember, the allele is the letter, and then you bring them over from the side. Now, some of you might be saying, hey, I'm in algebra right now, and this looks super familiar. Well, that's great because this is a lot of the way math teachers are teaching the quadratic formula now. So yes, they use the Punnett square method to teach the quadratic formula. So if this looks familiar to you, run with it. Okay, it is the same thing. If you've never seen it before, make sure that you come in for tutoring and that you're taking care of business. Moving on, so we're going to practice creating a Punnett square. Okay, and it says drag the alleles to create 2 parent traits, then complete the square. You can pause the video at this time and practice as many combinations as you want. Okay, I'm actually going to write instead of dragging because I enjoy that. So for the top parent, we're going to say that he is homozygous dominant. So if he is homozygous dominant, he's going to have 2 capital letters. We're going to say parent on the side, or parent number 2, is going to be heterozygous. Therefore, hetero means different, so he's got 1 capital letter and 1 lowercase letter. Okay. Now, bring both of them down, or all of them down from the top. Okay, so we got AA, capital A, and then capital A, capital A. Okay, now bring it over. I'm going to use a different color just so you can see. Okay, but I'm going to even rewrite it. Okay, capital A, capital A, capital A, capital A. Okay, lowercase a, lowercase a. So for this offspring, we have 50% that are homozygous dominant. We have 50% that are heterozygous. So we have a 50-50 or a 1-to-1 ratio. And we'll talk more about that later. Just make sure that from this video, you understand how to work the Punnett squares. Okay. This next slide just shows you all the combinations. So like I said, practice. Pick different parents. Put different things. Make sure that you understand this. The next step is a 16 square box Punnett square. So you need to make sure that you have the 4 box down before you move on. Okay. Last but not least, just so y'all know, this lesson was found on Smart Exchange Lesson by Doug Thomas. I did edit it to fit our class and make sure that it fit all our needs. But I hope y'all got something out of this. I hope that you, as you were watching this video, you said, hey, I remember all this stuff from 7th grade. I already know this stuff. I can't wait to see y'all in class tomorrow and to get down to that upper level work that I know that y'all are capable of. I hope you found this video valuable, and I will see you later.